So Ed, you'll be stepping down as CEO of the Hockomock Area YMCA in March. What led to the decision? I'm sure it wasn't an easy decision.
It wasn't an easy decision, Peter, but I knew it was the right decision. It was the right decision for me. It was the right decision for my family. And quite frankly, it's the right decision for the Y. Jim Downs is a very capable leader, done an unbelievable job the last couple of years as our Chief Operating Officer. And quite frankly, the biggest motivation for me was it's time to spend more time with my family. It's been a great 28 years at Hockomock. I love this community, but as I said to the board, I love my family more. And it's an opportunity for me to spend more time with the people that I want to spend time with and that need my support right now. And we talk about supporting families in the community at our Y, and we do a great job of that. I've always challenged my colleagues here, we've got to be supporting our own families as well. And that's what I'm going to be doing now.
Speaking of families, as I walked into the North Attleboro branch, I saw the bags with food for families in need. It made me think how much the mission of the YMCA has changed over the years, certainly in your 28 years.
I think the mission has changed, and yet the mission hasn't changed. It's about being there for the community and what does the community need. And we've always taken the approach, as you know, what can we do as partners with others to meet those community needs. And when the pandemic hit almost 2 years ago now, and we were forced to close, one thing that we identified quickly we could do was to expand what we were providing in terms of meals for schools to provide bags of groceries and meals for folks that needed it. And we're doing it almost 2 years later, the same thing, because that's what the community needs. And I'm really proud of the way our staff stepped up and the way the community responded with their support to allow us to do that. And we're still doing it at every branch on Wednesdays, providing grocery bags of food for folks that need it. And we've got food trucks now that are going out into the community to deliver meals and food. And it's something that we're committed to long term because the need is there.
You've lived in North Attleboro for a long time now, and I really didn't realize it until I worked at the Y for a number of years. And I don't want to say that the people are invisible, but I don't think the average North Attleboro Plainville resident realizes just how much need there is in their communities.
Yeah, and I think that's very true, and I think it's true, quite frankly, in all the 15 communities we serve, and out of our Franklin and Foxborough branches as well. And I think the great thing that we do is that the folks who are receiving help and support from the Y, nobody knows. Whether it's someone in summer camp or a membership or a program, they may be getting a confidential scholarship, but nobody knows that they're receiving it. And we do that, for that reason. They become part of our family. We're here to support their families. And I think it's one of the great things. And the Reach Out for Youth and Families campaign every year that raises funds to allow us to do that. And it's part of the magic that we're here for people who need us. We've been a safety net. We're going to continue to be a safety net. And it's one of the things that I think makes our YMCA such an important piece of the community.
And you also have the success stories that are shared during the Reach Out for Youth and Families breakfast, ROFI, as we used to call it, breakfast. People that were on scholarships now donating back.
It's amazing. We have Lynette Testa, who oversees our scholarship program here, and she'll send us confidential notes that she gets, takes the name out of, and I can't tell you how many folks share that exact story, that they received a scholarship and they want to, quote, pay it forward, and they'll enclose, sometimes it's a $5 bill, or sometimes it's more money, but they want to help others. And we don't, we celebrate that story at our breakfast every year and at other events, but we need to really share even more. And that's one of the opportunities that we have to let folks know that we are helping people and that their support of us is making that possible. And again, it's one of the things that we take great pride in, that our doors are open to everyone regardless of ability to pay. And as I always say to folks in the community, if you know someone who's going through a tough time, a family, an individual, all you need to do is let us know, and I promise the Hockomock Area YMCA will be there for them.
28 years, long time. Probably tough to identify one achievement, but what are you most proud of?
One achievement would be hard, and I would also say, Peter, that any achievement that we've had at our Y, it's been a collective, a team achievement. I work with amazing staff and have for 28 years. We have the best staff team we've ever had at our YMCA now. Our board of directors, board of incorporators, incredibly dedicated volunteers. I think when I think about things that, if I were to, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but the first one that jumps into my mind is the integration initiative. I think of that and our dear friend Tony Kelsey, who played such a key role in starting that, with somebody coming to us and saying that they wanted their child who had special needs to be able to participate at the Y. And of course our response was, absolutely, they can do that. And they said, no, they can't. And we created the integration initiative to bring young people with special needs and their families, make them part of our Y, integrate them with their typically developing peers. And what's happened over the last 17 years since that program started is something we're very proud of. And the Legends events that we do with the support of so many New England sports legends, the Legends Ball, the Legends Golf, that raises the funds for that. And as a result, now we've got things like golf teams for the kids. And they started a glee club this year. It's branched out from sports. And sure, they do the football and the basketball and all. But these young people, and then to watch them grow into adults today over the last 17 years, and so many of the legends will comment on that too, that they're involved because they get to see what the impact is. And that's something I think has become a model for inclusion. It's something I know Tony was always proud of, and we're still very proud of, and something that I look back on and say that's something pretty special that we created here for our communities.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. I won't be far.